Hollywood's golden age was a time of dazzling dreams and dangerous secrets. Studio moguls held the keys to fame, and starlets flocked to Tinseltown hoping for a shot at stardom. But few men wielded power as mysteriously or as ruthlessly as Howard Hughes. The billionaire aviator, filmmaker, and eccentric tycoon built empires in the sky and on the silver screen. Yet behind closed doors, he crafted a gilded cage inside his luxury hotels, where aspiring actresses found themselves ensnared in a web of glamour, control, and whispered scandals. Tonight, we uncover the dark truth about Hughes's so-called private retreat and the women who disappeared into his world, some never to fully escape. Part 1. The man behind the myth. Howard Hughes was a paradox, a genius inventor who broke aviation records, a visionary filmmaker who pushed Hollywood's boundaries, and a reclusive billionaire whose obsessions bordered on madness. By the 1940s, Hughes had amassed staggering wealth and influence, but his true fascination lay in controlling the lives of others, especially beautiful young starlets. He didn't just want to discover stars, he wanted to own them. Hughes's favorite project? Transforming unknown actresses into screen sirens, molding them to his exacting standards. But his methods weren't about mentorship. They were about possession. He lured women with promises of fame, signing them to ironclad contracts that gave him total control over their careers and their lives. And where did he keep them? Inside his private retreat, a suite of rooms at the Beverly Hills Hotel, the Ambassador Hotel, or his own Hughes aircraft hangar. To outsiders, it sounded luxurious. To the women inside, it felt like a velvet prison. Part 2. The Starlets Who Vanished. Take Jean Harlow, Hollywood's original blonde bombshell. Hughes discovered her at 16, casting her in his 1930 film Hell's Angels. But his interest in Harlow went beyond the screen. He reportedly kept her under surveillance, dictating her friendships, her schedule, even her diet. When Harlow tried to break free, Hughes allegedly threatened to derail her career, a pattern he'd repeat for decades. Then there's Faith Domergue, a dark-haired beauty Hughes signed at 16. He whisked her away to his hotel suites, where she lived under the watch of his staff. Domergue later claimed Hughes subjected her to bizarre tests, like forcing her to watch grueling films for hours to prove her dedication. When she rebelled, he shelved her career for years out of spite. But Hughes's most infamous project was Jane Russell. He cast her in The Outlaw, 1943, a film marketed more for her scandalous wardrobe than her acting. Hughes micromanaged every detail of Russell's image, even designing a special bra to accentuate her figure, a bra she later admitted she never wore, tossing it the second cameras stopped rolling. Russell survived Hughes's obsession, but others weren't so lucky. Part 3. The Hotel as a Gilded Cage. Hughes's hotels weren't just hiding places, they were stages for his control. Women who entered his world were cut off from friends and family. Phones were monitored, mail was screened, and staff reported their every move to Hughes. He installed hidden cameras in some suites, allegedly to protect his starlets from scandals. In reality, it was surveillance masquerading as security. Actress Terry Moore, who later claimed to have secretly married Hughes, described his tactics as romantic tyranny. He'd shower starlets with jewels and designer gowns, then vanish for weeks, leaving them stranded in their suites with nothing but guards and gossip. For many, the isolation was crushing. Some turned to pills or alcohol to cope. Others, like aspiring actress Eva McClellan, simply disappeared from Hollywood altogether after Hughes lost interest. Part 4. The escape artists. A few women fought back. Ginger Rogers, the Oscar-winning dancer, clashed with Hughes after he tried to force her into a restrictive contract. She later wrote that Hughes's lawyers threatened to bury her career if she refused his demands. Rogers stood her ground and won, but most starlets lacked her clout. Then there's Ava Gardner. Hughes became infatuated with her during her early MGM days, bombarding her with gifts and stalker-like attention. Gardner, never one to mince words, reportedly told him, "You can't own me, Howard." She married Mickey Rooney to escape Hughes's grip, but the tycoon retaliated by spreading rumors about her personal life. Gardner's career survived, but Hughes's vendetta left scars. Part 5. The Legacy of Control. By the 1950s, Hughes's behavior grew even more erratic. He bought entire hotels to house his entourage of starlets, nurses, and aides. His RKO studios became a revolving door of actresses he'd sign, exploit, and discard. But as Hollywood's studio system crumbled, so did Hughes's power. New laws made his draconian contracts harder to enforce, and a younger generation of stars rebelled against his control. Yet the damage was done. Many of Hughes' protégés left Hollywood with broken careers and shattered confidence. Some, like Jean Peters, one of his few official wives, lived in near-total isolation for years. Others, like silent film star Billy Dove, faded into obscurity after refusing his advances. Hughes died in 1976, a recluse surrounded by sycophants and empty movie reels, a far cry from the dashing mogul who once ruled Tinseltown. Why did so many starlets fall into Hughes's trap? In an era when women had little power in Hollywood, his promises of fame felt like a lifeline. But Hughes wasn't a savior. He was a puppeteer. His hotels weren't retreats. They were laboratories where he experimented with lives, discarding women when they no longer fit his fantasy. The tragedy isn't just what Hughes did, it's how the system let him get away with it.